What's up everybody, Kinetic here and welcome back to Grim Dawn. This is the road to Ultimate Phase Tank and we're finally making some progression gear-wise. I've been going through, I'm actually, at this point, currently, I am past the Blood Grove, just past the Blood Grove area. I've been fighting a lot of familiar enemies that I've had a hard time with some other builds, like for example the Gunslinger, but here with the Commando Cadence Blitz build, it has been significantly easier. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I know more or less how these encounters, you know, are basically played out. Like for example, the Bug Queen here, that helps when you know kind of what to expect. But still, they're quite challenging, even still, right? You have to be on your toes. I'm trying my best to face tank, but there are some things that I just have to get out of the way of, right? But it's fun, and so far it's done really well for as pitifully as I have been geared. All of these fights, I have had the same freaking gear for the longest time, like since the late 70s, and I'm now 84 currently with the character, and I've been burning down all of these enemies with almost no upgrades since then. This was an interesting section here though, Bolvar the Blood Binder. Now this was a guy, like a lot of the ones that I just showed, that I've kind of had trouble with, had to do a lot of kiting with, for example, my Gunslinger in order to bring down, but absolutely dominated this guy, and you know, all the previous fights that I just showed as well, 0 deaths there, and I was pretty surprised, like pleasantly surprised, of course, that that this build can handle it so well. But then something really unexpected happened here in the Blood Grove. I found the same Nemesis that I found towards the beginning of this ultimate run, the one that I first encountered and showed you guys and said I cannot handle this thing at all. Well, I found him again, and then there's also another unique named guy there. So what I was thinking as I was kiting away here, I'm like, maybe I can try and peel the named star guy, there he is in the corner, peel him away from the Nemesis, make them, you know, let the Nemesis go back or whatever. But the opposite happened. The unique guy goes back, and this Nemesis guy is still chasing me. So I'm like, screw it, let me see what happens. And so I start hitting at him, and I'm like, this isn't so bad. And then I'm taking damage, and I'm like, I could possibly do this. And I start thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I've got a lot more space to kite around here if I want to, compared to that that tight dungeon where I first found him. So this went on for like about 5 minutes, right? Like back and forth like this. I'm dodging those exploding crystal formations and stuff like that, and you know, just trying to time my abilities and stuff. And so 5 minutes passed, and he's had some really like close moments where he almost took me down, right? Still on the first life, no deaths so far in this encounter, right? And then something really strange happens as I'm kiting him away, and you can see this area in the minimap, it's kind of narrow, so I'm like, I'm trying to pull him a little bit more to a bigger area where I can fight, and then he starts running away. I'm like, oh my god, please don't tell me you're resetting, because if he resets, I'm gonna flip my table, right? So I start chasing him down really quickly, like trying to hit him with anything I possibly can. He has got the tiniest little sliver of life left. I'm blitzing, condensing, I'm like over, like whatever the hell powering that fourth ability is, and then he dies, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. And there we go, my first Nemesis kill here with the Commando Soldier build. There you go, you can see there's my gear, almost entirely green still. Now there is a loot cache back here that I click on. There's that unique named enemy guy, and I'm like, oh, look at all this gear, I hope something's good there. I don't see any legendaries, and I'm like, well, at least there's a blue. Like, it's so rare even just to see blues here in ultimate difficulty. It's kind of strange how rare even blues are. But I killed the hero, and bam! Legendary belt drops in my lap. So there we go, finally my first usable legendary for this build. And then, after that, I decided to return to Tyrant's Hold because I hadn't run it yet, and then I remembered that there's the Celestial Blacksmith here, and so I used up some of my my materials to try and go ahead and craft myself a Warborn set piece. I'm looking for Warborn armor for my character. I craft it, and instead of giving me Warborn, he gives me a, I can't remember the name of it, he gives me a caster chest piece, I don't know what it's called, and he also gives me Markovian's chest piece, Markovian's plate mail. Now this was the old good version of the commando that used the Markovian set rather than the Warborn, but due to some kind of nerfing that went on maybe with the set or the skills that, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what it was that they changed, but it's now considered inferior compared to using the Warborn set. But, I mean, still, legendaries are legendaries, and they're going to be really powerful regardless when you put them together. It's not going to be like complete trash. So I gotta say, I'm really pleased with the fact that I've got something out of that, because as it is, when loot drops, it could be anything. And there, it was a random crafting. It could have been any two shaman, arcanist, occultist, whatever. And I happened to get Markovian, so that was pretty exciting. So here's where we are with the Ultimate Face Tank, or Road to Ultimate Face Tank Commando build here. I've had a couple of other very minor upgrades that feel like I was just barely squeezing out some more power compared to what I had before. Here's the old shoulders, and here's the new shoulders. So I had Spaulders of Menhir's Wall, now Flesh Warp Spaulders of Incantations. I decided to go with these for a couple of reasons. We got higher armor with the new shoulders. We have plus damage to all, plus physical to all. It sucks losing the health, but I do also get a defensive upgrade. I lost the bleeding, but thanks to there being a chaos resistance on here, and with some other pieces that I switched at the same time as this, I was able to kind of reconfigure my augments to make up for that bleeding resistance. We may actually find that somewhere in another one of these pieces. Okay, so I went from Harvest Footpads also, which is 146 armor, to 936 armor with the Empowered Dreadnought Footpads. Nice upgrade there. Got some physical damage. I lost Elemental, Chaos, and Aether, and that was really scary. I was like, how am I going to make up for a piece like this? You know what I mean? But with these boots, I get physical resistance, which is nice, a very high pierce resistance, and some chaos resistance out of that as well. Piercing resistance, I believe, is one of the things that I was augmenting around, so to make up for the loss of Aether, Chaos, and Elemental, again, like, it had a lot to do with other pieces that were changing and augments that were flying around. And then also, these three pieces around the same time kind of fell within about the same time as each other, within the last level or two or something like that. Blade Ward's Courage, that was a level 50 item, upgraded to 74, which is quite nice. A lot of the stuff that I get is level 70, unfortunately, even though, like, I'm 84 now. I'm still getting, like, level 70 stuff. But with this, I get cold damage, which is pointless, but the physique is nice. The attack speed is why I was really eyeing this. And then there, we make up for the Aether resistance loss in the other piece by having this. Plus, it also has some nice stuff. So, by changing these pieces and then swapping around, like, some of the augments, some of the components and stuff like that, you can see that my resistances are about the same, a little bit stronger. I would say probably in the what am I trying to say? The fire. The fire I got a huge boost from somewhere. The Markovian's plate mail. I'm gonna take a there it is. A nice close look at this. We get physical damage, which is great for this build. That's hard to find because, again, gear just, like, rolls whatever the fuck it wants to roll, so you never know what you're gonna get. But I have to have physical damage. Got it from that. Health. The increase in health regen is nice. Constitution is nice. Big fire resistance buff there. Got some Menhir's Bulwark and Scars of Battle Plus there as well. So, all in all, this is great timing because, I mean, I literally just showed you guys, like, the screen that happened, what was that, earlier today, I want to say, or something like that, when I killed the Nemesis, and I was still almost all in greens, right? So it's a relief to finally get to this point where I'm finally starting to find something. I'm actually kind of scared and have been getting progressively nervous about what's going on here in this Grim Dawn run, because honestly, like, with the way things have been dropping, it doesn't feel any different than, say, like, how good drops were in Veteran, which is not supposed to be the case. I mean, the whole thing with going up in difficulty is you have greater challenge, and you also have greater rewards, right? I mean, it even says that in the difficulty description, right? But it just hasn't felt like that's been the oh, we found an epic, nice. It just doesn't feel like that's been the case at all. I could swear I'm running veteran difficulty right now. It's crazy because of how few epics, for example, are dropping. Like, I could probably count the amount of epics that have dropped on the two of my hands, right? And only one of those has actually been usable, and that was the boots that I upgraded to, which is crazy. And of course, there's greens dropping, but again, with the way that the itemization is and how they can roll pretty much any stat and stuff like that for any class, same with legendaries, right? You know, freaking 19 times out of 20, it's completely useless. So I've almost gotten to a point where I'm like getting desensitized from being disappointed, which is really sad to say it, but that's the truth of it. Like, I'm not getting excited even when I see a legendary fall on the ground, because chances are it's just not something that I can use. The fact that I've got that belt, not, you know, from crafting, but as a drop, and I can use it, it's like, it's unbelievable. Like, I'm still thinking to myself, like, wow, is this real life? Like that tripped out kid from the dentist. Blood of Cthulhu. Okay. Yep. I've been running these treasure troves ever since I realized that I could get, because I actually completely forgot that I could craft legendaries, but ever since I reminded myself of that, and then I made the Markovian's chess piece, I've been doing like trove run after trove run after trove run after trove run to try and farm up some more materials for this guy, and I think I have enough to do at least one craft. What the hell? I swear that door was open. No? Okay. Because it looked like they just came through that, didn't it? Haven't actually showed off this dungeon yet here in the Road to Ultimate Face Tank run. This is a pretty cool one. I wanna say, isn't there like a secret area to this one, or am I thinking of someplace different? I don't know. This reminds me of a dungeon that had a secret area. I gotta watch out for those spikes. That's what those holes are right there. Yeah, there he is. You can see him on the compass map. These guys are level 89 now, which is pretty insane. But nothing that I can't handle. Okay. Dude, I love that knockdown though. Some guys get absolutely wrecked by that, like these two here. Get completely smashed on their face. Alright. Come on, dude. You've been pretty good to me today. Let's see if you can keep that up. I feel like a legendary weapon could really help me out. If we do that, and we actually craft something really good, then that will make me super happy. I mean, I don't think it doesn't have to be much to be better than what this is. I think we will have a good chance of getting something, hopefully, of getting something that will act as an upgrade. So here we go. Do it. What is that? It looks like a mace. It doesn't have an X on it, so that's good. I don't know what this is. What is it? It looks like fire damage. Infernal Brimstone. Surprise, fire damage. Physical damage converted to fire damage. Burn damage. Burn damage. Offensive ability. Defensive ability. Attack speed. Look at that attack speed. Burn retaliation. Vindictive Flame. I use that. I use Vindictive Flame. And +2 to all skills in Demolitionist. Okay, so to my absolute shock and disappointment, upon closer examination of that weapon, it turns out it's a two-hand, which is pretty much useless to me for this build. What blows me away is that I was looking at the numbers and we saw that it was like negative red, you know, something numbers. That's what it often says for a single-hand weapon. I've never seen that actually for a two-hand weapon. Usually even a green two-hand weapon, which I don't have one here. Usually a green two-hand weapon even will have anywhere from like 1,000 to 3,000 plus DPS than what it's telling me, you know, my combination of sword and shield is and stuff like that. So when I saw that, I instantly thought, okay, this is obviously a single-hand weapon, but it isn't. It isn't at all. So we're gonna try this again, and God help me if this doesn't give me a single-hand weapon that I can use. I'm gonna be extremely disappointed. Maybe I should just do the safe thing and go for a legendary accessory instead. But like I just said, I feel like I could get a lot more out of having a legendary weapon. Please don't screw me over again. I just converted like all the other materials I had now here to tainted brain matter to do this one more time. Please give it to me. I need any decent freaking one-hand legendary weapon. Please do it. Okay, here we are again. Is it two-hand? It's one-hand. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Negative. See, that's what I'm used to seeing. Negative 4,000? What the shit? And it's just got everything wrong on it. Look at that. That is completely useless to me. Completely useless to me. This is like the Kadala of Grim Dawn right here. That is absolutely terrible. Anybody want to trade? I'll pretty much take anything that's good for my build. Any Warborn piece, Siegebreaker, Peerless Eye, anything like that. Anything I can use. That is completely useless to me, man. Oh, God. That's all good. It's all good. I'm sure if I craft another 10 more, maybe I'll get the weapon I'm looking for, or a weapon that's good for me, right? It only means I'm gonna have to farm the crap more out of those materials. It's okay. Oh man, it's all good. Maybe we'll get lucky and find some box or some unique enemy or something like that here that will help us continue our good luck streak from earlier instead of this now bad luck streak that I'm getting. I'm feeling great. I'm not complaining. I've got freaking 2 usable legendaries in one day. I would have been satisfied getting 2 usable freaking... Oh, there's a gate there, that's why. 2 usable epics at this point. I've been so dry on actually getting any decent gear for so long, it feels like. What's in here? I can't remember who the boss is. Guess we're gonna find out soon, huh? Not yet, though. Okay, we're cool. Get rid of the trash first. Here we go. Alright, I kind of remember this fight. It's in a tight little area around here. I don't remember all these spikes being all over the ground like this, though. Oh, wait, is that a breakable wall? Is that what that is? Yeah. Another... Oh, hidden spores. This could be good. Blue, blue, blue. Give me a blue. Ah, come on. Alright. Man. I'm hungrier than ever now. Like, I got to a point where I was okay with not finding any gear. Now that I smell the blood of legendaries in the air, I become ravenous. I'm like, come on, yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming. It's like I want to keep my high up. Freaking crack fiend now for legendaries. Oh, this guy. Okay. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. He does hit pretty freaking hard though. But other than that, I think we can handle this. Still haven't needed a potion, so far so good. Yeah, he's almost done. He does hit pretty freaking hard though. And done. What is that? Lights Defender Plate. Don't tell me that's a chess piece. It's a it's a freaking chess piece. Of course it is. My third, oh jeez, my third legendary chess piece today. I mean, this isn't worth anything to me anyway, but today's legendary chest armor day. That's what it is. All right, well, there we go. Add that to what is that? My 20th unusable legendary sitting in my storage back in town. Hey, but I got some dynamite. Hey, maybe something out of this strong box? No. Exalted stash. Come on, give me a blue. What? No way! Dude, did I just get 2? Lights Defender Plate and Lights Defender Gauntlet. I have a 2-piece freaking set now. Of a set that is completely useless to me. Oh my god. If only that could have been Warborn or Markovians instead. How much more amazing that would be. Damn it. Oh man. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. I'm looking on the bright side here. The more often epics, the more often legendaries drop, the better my chances are of getting something that that I can work with. That's the only thing that is really made me kind of nervous and almost scared about ultimate difficulty here is I'm like 3/4 of the way through ultimate difficulty now, and I've barely found anything. You know what I mean? Let alone anything that I can actually use. I've barely found anything that is even an epic or even a legendary. So the slower that they drop, then it's the more crazy it makes me, because thinking of how many more drops I'm going to need to potentially get a piece of armor that is good for first of all my class and the stats that I can use. Like the RNG is crazy. Anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for now. This is more of like a catch-up video than anything, but that pretty much is, yeah, I mean, that's mostly it, I think, for Tyrant's Hold. Although, for some reason, I'm thinking that there might be a little secret side area or something. I don't know. Maybe you guys can remind me of that, or whatever your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Click the like button to support GrimDawn here on the channel, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Road to Ultimate Face Tank here with the Commando is shaping up pretty good. Got one good Markovian's, please. Got a decent build. Looking forward to finding some more gear. Until then, thanks again for watching. This is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.